We had a full slate of NWSL matches over the weekend, which saw the Orlando Pride and Kansas City Current remain unbeaten, both of them with 4 straight wins to start off the season. Alyssa Thompson got a goal and an assist in Angel City's 3-1 win, making her the second youngest in league history to reach 10 goals and 10 assists. Gotham FC walked away with a 3-1 win as well. It was their first win of the season as Midge Purce made her return from an ACL injury, and the Chicago Stars also got their first win of the season with a 2-1 win. Now, NC Courage and Utah Royals are the 2 teams left in the league that are still looking for their first wins this year. Now, let's dive into this Angel City team, Cupo, because they sit 4th in the standings right now with 2 wins and 2 draws. Now, this is a team that, when you look at their history in the league, they're not usually in the top half of the table. So what's going right for them this year?
You know, they used to be a squeak-in playoffs contender. I think that they haven't fared nearly as well as you'd anticipate them to. This is very much a rebuilding season for them. Let's make that very clear. So when we level set expectations, they're starting this season with interim Sam Lady at the helm, and they had newly appointed sporting director Mark Parsons. So what we've heard from the beginning of the season is that this search for a full head coach could extend as far as June 2025, where they'll try to determine who the fully appointed coach is. Now, should Sam Lady be in this conversation? I say yes. I think what he's done so far this season with this team has been remarkable, including the rookies. He's been doing a little bit of tinkering. They're playing very freely. He also was assistant under Vlatko Andonovski, under Laura Harvey. He has been the interim for teams like the Houston Dash, as well as Utah. So, I mean, while those tenures weren't particularly long and they were teams that were very much in turmoil at the time, I don't think we've seen Sam Lady sort of take the helm of a team the way he has this season with Angel City. We have really productive rookies. Hodge, who's come in, scored a goal. We also have Riley Tiernan, who's now got 2 goals under her belt as a rookie out of Rutgers for this Angel City team. Alyssa Thompson, who's firing on all pistons, showing out. Savvy King, who's stepped up, who's played in a number of roles and is kind of being trialed and tested at this point. Kennedy Fuller in her 2nd season with Angel City, who's now pulled up with 2 goals, 1 assist this season. She's really, really coming into her own. I think that what we're seeing is a flourishing Angel City roster, and Sam Lady has got to be a bit proud at what he's managed to accomplish in a short amount of time.
Now, 2 teams are still unbeaten, one of them being the Orlando Pride. And of course, who else scores a goal but Barbra Banda for Orlando? But that being said, over the weekend, it felt like Seattle was really able to contain Barbra for the majority of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look at a game plan when you're coming up against an Orlando side, one, they have an absolute dynamite defense, right? So you know it's going to be really, really hard to kind of carve into that space through that back line. Their attack, while they do have many options, Barbra Banda is absolutely lethal. She's so silky on and off ball, her movements, and she doesn't shy away from a 1v1. I think that she's also going to be a threat going forward in this season. You know that she's going to be in that Golden Boot race, guaranteed. Orlando, I'm not worried about losing any steam going forward.
Now, the other team that is still unbeaten, Kansas City Current, it was Debinha that got the goal for them. I mean, what's special about this particular team?
Off the goal scoring, Debinha is this sort of multi-tool player who's just so smart that, like, you love to see her, that play off of other players, the way that she'll just break lines. She's very talented. Love to see a potent Debinha, and just she also brings that samba, that flair.
That.
Like, she opens the goal scoring and then low tucks it in right after that for an easy 2-0 over the Wave. I mean, who's got it better?
How about on the other end for Kansas? I mean, the defensive effort from them, this was their 3rd consecutive shutout.
Yeah, Kansas City, their primary deficiency last season, and for a bulk of it, it wasn't like it was a blip on the radar, was their defensive deficiencies across the board. They were just leaking goals. It was guaranteed that they were going to concede. It just was a matter of when every single match, which is very unfortunate because they have such a talented attack that we had joked last season that, you know, maybe they're an all-vibes defense and they just plan to outscore every single opponent, which wasn't that far from the truth, to be quite frank. They did have 17 different goal scorers last season, so that was light work for them, you know? And I anticipate seeing the same this season.
Now, let's talk about the team that's in number 3, my Washington Spirit team. And when you talk about the Spirit this year, you can't not talk about Ashley Hatch. Now, when you look at how things were a year ago when we started the season, she wasn't really a part of the conversation, and now she's a big part of it, getting her 4th goal of the season over the weekend.
For sure. I mean, I think that Jonah Heraldez has a clear vision for this team. He knows what talent he has. When you don't think that there's depth in this Washington Spirit side, he takes a step back and goes, ha-ha, watch, and you see an Ashley Hatch engage. Now, she pulls up this weekend with her 50th goal for Washington Spirit. One more goal, and she draws level with Rapinoe for 2nd overall, but she's the only active player that's currently in that conversation. So, I mean, she's head and shoulders above the rest. I think that the bump of her getting called back into the U.S. Women's National Team camp is excellent for her. I think it's a little bit of an echo chamber and a, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? She's always been reliable. I think it's just now getting these opportunities. We're going to see Ashley Hatch shine even more.
Do you see her being able to be consistent in this form?
I absolutely. I think there's no question about it. And I think with some of the vacancies or like picking up slack for Washington Spirit in terms of just their firepower, she's absolutely got a slot there.
Yeah. All right. Well, they're sitting 3rd in the table. It's still Utah Royals and who is it? Utah Royals and Chicago. No.
Chicago managed to get a win.
Courage.
Finally.
Yeah, Chicago. They finally got a win, so we can knock them off the list. It's their Utah Royals and NC Courage are still looking for their wins, Cupo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little less surprised of a Utah under Jimmy Coonrotz. They haven't had an easy go in the last seasons. However, North Carolina Courage, I'm a little bit disappointed in. They have the talent, they have the capacity, they're getting their share of the ball. They do not have a consistent goal scorer. They had Brianna Pinto, who tends to always make these like clutch pocket change minute goals, and she saved the day. You know, like, and even that wasn't enough. I think you need to get her in earlier, start her. Neha, start her. I don't see the goals coming from anybody else, but I do think that we're seeing improved performances, right? Like they have Jaden Shaw, and I think there's still some tinkering that's going on in terms of, you know, who's best where in what position and how do they best move as a team.